You've got to hear this before your next cruise. I'm sure you've heard that a few times. I'm sure you've read a few articles as well. I'm sure you've read many posts on Facebook, Reddit, and wherever, Instagram, TikTok. You've got all the tips. I'm here to tell you which tips you really shouldn't follow.
My name is Stuart. This is Ship to Shore Cruise News. Let's get into it.
So I recently did a very unscientific type of study where I've done a lot of polling in different groups to come up with a list of tips that people have told me are pretty useless. And I'm going to pass that information on to you to help you make your cruise a little bit better when you're not trying to follow hundreds of tips. A lot of people out there, one of the first tips that they're going to tell you is that it doesn't matter which cruise cabin you're in, because all you're going to do is sleep in it anyway. Well, there's a lot of people that have taken that advice and found they spend a lot more time in their cabin than they ever thought. A lot of people like to go, maybe chill, relax in their cabin, take an afternoon nap, and they spend time in their cabin throughout the day. So they're finding that, yeah, their cabin does matter, and they do enjoy having a balcony cabin or an ocean cabin where they can just have a window to see outside. There's also people out there saying, hey, I've got this handy dandy packing list that you need to follow. Put all these items in your packing and bring them on the next cruise so you'll have a great cruise. Well, some of those items you just will never use or never see. So why don't you just decide what you need to go on your next cruise? Pack enough underwear, socks, bathing suits, a couple of shirts, a couple of shorts, a nice set of clothes to go out on a formal night, sunscreen, your meds, your toiletries. That's about it. If there's anything else, you decide on what you want to take. Bring your own cup and straw. A lot of people are saying, don't trust the cruise ships with their plastic or candy straws, and bring your own cup so you can refill it all the time. Well, right after the little coronavirus thing we had recently, a lot of cruise ships tried to go very environmentally friendly. The paper straws they were using right away weren't that good, and Carnival's candy straws, they would get kind of slimy after a little bit. I found over the last year that cruise lines have come up with some great solutions and some great products for the straws. It's my opinion that you don't need to bring your own straws or your own cups as well. There's plenty of cups out there. Some people with many years of experience of cruising will tell you don't book your excursion through the cruise line, book it on your own, you'll save hundreds. Well, you might if you know what you're doing and if you're comfortable doing it. If you're a first-time cruiser, my recommendation is to book your excursions through the cruise line. They might be a little more expensive in some cases, but you're going to guarantee that the ship is going to wait for you if there's a problem. If you book your own excursion, then it's up to you to make sure you're back at the ship on time before it departs. Because if you're not back, that ship will leave without you. And there's a lot of videos online of pier runners and people standing there, and that ship's only a few feet off that dock and it ain't coming back for you. So if you book your excursion through the cruise line, the cruise will wait for you if that excursion is late. Magnetic hooks. Have you heard people say, get these hooks, they stick on the walls, they stick on the doors. People are finding they're not using them. But I do. I love the hooks. And I use them. I don't know what these people are talking about. I took some and I wasn't too sure what I would hang on them, and I found I was hanging a lot of stuff on them. I had hooks for I don't know what. I can't remember what I was hanging on them, but they were used and they're really handy. So I'd bring those hooks. There's a lot of people out there telling other cruisers that on Elegant night, it doesn't matter what you wear. You can just go in your casual clothes. Well, some restaurants on board cruise ships are like that. But if you want to go to certain restaurants on Elegant night, you better double check that dress code. And you better make sure that you've got the appropriate clothing to wear in those specialty restaurants on Elegant night, or your plans are going to get disrupted because they won't let you in. Somebody mentioned that you should not forget your upside down pineapple. That's up to you. Another thing people are saying to first-time cruisers that before you go on a cruise or for your very first cruise, take a 3-night cruise, take a 4-night cruise and see if you like it. The only downside to that is most 3 nights and 4 night cruises are going to be weekend cruises. And quite often those are nothing more than party cruises. People are going to pay the cheap price for a 3-day cruise, and they're going to party all weekend. So if your first cruise is a 3-day cruise, be aware it's going to be a lot louder, a lot more rowdy, a lot more drunks on board than you're going to find on a 7-day cruise. There's also people out there saying that you never need to phone the cruise line to get information about the cruise. Everything you can find, every question you need answered, you can find online. Just search on Facebook. Just do a Google search. Just look in Reddit pages. No. If you have a question about the cruise line, give them a call. Search their website. Talk to a travel agent. These are the best sources of information. You don't want to arrive at the port and be surprised by last-minute information. You don't want to go there and go, hey, I was told I only needed this and that, and the cruise line saying, I'm sorry, you can't get on board because our rules are really this. Or you might have a problem while you're on board during your cruise because of some false information that you've received. So for your first cruise, take it easy, relax, enjoy the experience, enjoy the ship. Those are my tips. My tips: bring your bathing suit, bring some sunscreen, sit by the pool, have a drink now and then, eat too much. There's always food. And remember, there's only 3 more things to remember for every cruise. And that's my name's Stuart. This is Ship to Shore Cruise News. And as always, get your cruise on.